Hi, good morning. We're here to talk today about the differences between arbitration and litigation. So first, let's just talk in general. Arbitration and litigation have many similarities, but also some key differences. Litigation, typically, almost exclusively, you're going to be in a court, a public courthouse, and the judge will be a sitting judge appointed or elected to have that position. In arbitration, most likely you're going to be in a conference room in some facility, and our person deciding it, the arbitrator, will either be a retired judge, a lawyer, or in some cases, an industry professional that happens to be an expert in the industry that the dispute seems to be about. So now let's talk about how you get to arbitration versus litigation. The most common way that you end up in arbitration rather than litigation is if you have a contract that's at issue, and that contract calls for an arbitration clause. Absent a contract that requires an arbitration proceeding, the decision to go to arbitration is really decided by the parties. Let's talk about what happens in the key differences between arbitration and litigation. So the pros that most people will say are for arbitration is that it's generally a quicker proceeding and that it'll be less costly. That's generally true. Typically, discovery in an arbitration proceeding is much narrower than it would be in litigation, and hence much quicker and less costly. But the key thing to remember, again, the parties control the dispute. So even in arbitration, if the parties agree to it, they can have basically any discovery they want to do. The other thing to know about arbitration versus litigation is that in an arbitration proceeding, essentially whatever the arbitrator rules is going to be the final rule of the case. Whatever the arbitrator decides, whether he gets the law wrong, whether he gets the facts wrong, whatever the situation may be, what he or she decides, it is very, very hard to appeal a decision from an arbitration proceeding. In fact, in most cases, that whatever the arbitrator decides will be the decision of the case. The positive on that is that you get a ruling and you get a decision, and that ruling or decision, with very, very limited circumstances, is not going to be subject to appeal. So those are kind of the pros and cons of litigation versus arbitration. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I'm Mark Johnson, and I'm an attorney with Litigation.